A little bit of lunch there. Oh. Hello again. You're back. We're not bigger you. But today, no, I'm this song. Not the same. Yeah, no, you're all different. A few different people. Just it takes forever. My room with like 2 other people. Moving fast. Did last.
أنا فوق خلص والكل يعني الله خلص هو
Yes, yeah. Hi. Sam.
right? We'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And the flowers. Yeah.
There's another picture.
Who else
Awesome.
See if
I have
Is Saloni.
No, Kathy.
which one is it in?
Saloni's in the one in blue. Ironing. The icing for ironing. Is Zio.
The one who did the last one.
She was right below.
And it was the my shop.
My
My shop, I think one day.
Yeah, she did one do. And then the giver was it's spelled J-I-U.
No, she's not here. So what I'm doing.
And I haven't heard Claire's yet. And this one was in our.
Or somebody with it. No, just wait, because the timer is not here. So let's check the timer.
Reneem.
Who's that one?
It's Reneem.
Reneem?
Yeah, we'll call her.
Yeah. So you can just wait until the time keep releasing. Okay? I'm going to tell you when to start.
Can you come to 3:25? I forgot to do this.
Are you? So I'm missing a timer.
It's her, I'm pretty sure.
And you was pretty sure.
Let's check one more time.
Yeah, oral entry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Miss Indoor.
okay. I will see you. She's coming?
Yeah, Miss Kyle.
They spun around a couple too many times. Did you see this frog anywhere? Yeah, I saw her a couple times. Was I this envelope?
I miss keep it. Miss, she knows.
She's in the tea time? Miss Jack!
How long is this thing?
Okay, it's 5:00.
So, if you don't mind, I want to.
Yeah,
I usually set the time at 6:10, so would I be out by then?
Yeah, that's when, that's right. So, مش بصير الساعة الفلانية ولا لازم الساعة هيك؟ تربينك عليها؟ مش عارفة تربينك على موبايل موبايل واضح Okay, Maya, you can start. احكي لي عن بدش. Finally, what is this? So,
Serious oral lecture.
they must be in the 15, which is not for validation, and then you start after the introduction. So once you finish the introduction, you start when she finishes. They just told me when to press the button and how to stop it, that's it. So what do you see from the introduction? After the introduction.
When you press it, it's basically.
After the introduction.
No, press it when they start talking.
It's once they start talking at all.
And then they say their introduction.
When introduction
Because
starts.
here it says no after.
How long is it?
Well, I just.
8 minutes.
Okay, fine.
You're golden. Panic.
I can start.
Thank you. You have to second that. Nice fur.
Alright, you ready? Go for it.
My name is Maya Shah, and I'm reading an excerpt from the book Wonder by R.J. Palacio. This book is about August Cullen, a 10-year-old boy who has a rare facial deformity. Due to his deformity, August has already had over 25 surgeries, and as a result, has had to be homeschooled. This excerpt is about August as he enters 5th grade in a normal school for the first time. I know I'm not an ordinary 10-year-old kid. I mean, sure, I do ordinary things like eating ice cream, riding my bike, playing Xbox, and I feel ordinary inside. But I know ordinary kids don't make other ordinary kids run away screaming in playgrounds. I know ordinary kids don't get stared at wherever they go. If I found a magic lamp and I could have one wish, I would wish I had a normal face that no one ever noticed at all. Okay, so on the first day of school, I was so nervous the butterflies in my stomach were more like pigeons flying around my insides. However, I didn't catch anyone staring or even noticing me. Not that I needed proof. I knew I was the dog of the school. I did my little thing of pretending not to notice. It's easy to be in the midst of people and act like you don't notice them. I quickly headed to my room and silently thanked Mr. Dishman for the tour. In school, I hung out with Jack, who was one of the kids I met on the tour. We had a lot of classes together, and in each class, we were seated next to each other. I had a feeling this was planned, but I decided to ignore it. I felt like Jack was a good friend, and he made me laugh. It was fun to have a friend, for once. However, apart from Jack and a girl named Summer, I had a hard time making new friends. No one wanted to be around me, and the kids had even started a game where if anyone touched me, they would have to wash their hands in 30 seconds or they would catch the plague. But the school year went on, and in the spring, the 5th graders started preparing for their annual residential trip to the Broadwood Nature Reserve in Pennsylvania. The trip is for 3 days and 2 nights, and it's a 4-hour bus drive away. The kids sleep in cabins with bunk beds, and have campfires and s'mores and long walks through the woods. The teachers have been prepping us about the trip all year long, so all the kids are really excited, except for me. And it's not even that I'm not excited, because I kind of am. It's just that I've never stepped away from home before. I'm kind of nervous. The bus ride went really fast. I sat by the window, and Jack was next to me in the aisle of me. Summer and Maya were in front of us. Everyone was in a good mood, kind of loud, laughing along. It was like that for the whole trip. It flew by so quickly. Soon, it was a much-anticipated movie night, where all the schools would gather in a large cornfield to watch a movie together. We were waiting for the other schools to come, and just then, without any announcement, all the lights at the end of the field went on at once. An announcement came over the huge speakers. Welcome to the 23rd annual Big Movie Night at the Broadwood Nature Reserve. Welcome, teachers and students from all schools. A big cheer went up across the field. After the movie is over, it will be quite dark, so I ask all of you to stay with your schools as you make your way back to the buses. Tonight's movie presentation will be The Sound of Music. Instantly I smiled, remembering this is my sister's favorite movie. We headed in the direction of the giant screen, and that's when we walked straight into a group of kids we didn't know. They'd just come out of the woods, doing stuff I'm sure they didn't want their teachers to know about. I could smell the smoke now, the smell of both firecrackers and cigarettes. They pointed their flashlight at us. There were 6 of them, 4 boys and 2 girls. They looked like they were in the 7th grade. What school are you from? One of the boys called out. Peter Pratt, Jack started to answer, when all of a sudden one of the girls started screaming. Oh my god! Oh my god! She shrieked, holding her hand over her eyes like she was crying. I figured maybe a huge bug had just flown into her face or something. All of them started half laughing, half covering their eyes now, pushing each other and cursing loudly. What is that? Said the kid who was pointing a flashlight at us. And it was only then that I realized the flashlight was pointed right at my face. And what they were talking about, screaming about, was me. Let's get out of here, Jack said to me quietly, and he pulled me by my sweatshirt sleeve and started walking away from them. Wait! Yelled the guy with the flashlight, cutting us off. He pointed the flashlight right in my face again. Now he was only about 5 feet away. Oh man, he said. What happened to your face? Stop it, Eddie, said one of the girls. I didn't know we were watching Lord of the Rings tonight, he said. Look, guys, it's Golem. This made us frown because hysterical. Again, we tried to walk away from them, and again, the kid named Eddie cut us off. He was at least a head taller than Jack, who was about a head taller than me. So the guy looked huge to me. "No, man, it's alien," said one of the other kids. No, man, it's an orc," laughed Eddie, pointing the flashlight in my face again. This time, he was right in front of us. "Leave him alone, okay?" said Jack, pushing the hand holding the flashlight away. "Make me," answered Eddie, pointing the flashlight in Jack's face now. "What's your problem, dude?" said Jack. "Your boyfriend's my problem." "Jack, let's just go," I said. "Oh man, it talks!" screamed Eddie, shining the flashlight in my face again. Then one of the other guys threw a firecracker at our feet. Jack tried to push past Eddie, but Eddie shoved his hands into Jack's shoulders and pushed him hard. Jack fell backwards. "Look," I said, stepping in front of Jack, holding my hands up in the air like a traffic cop. "We're a lot smaller than you guys." "Are you talking to me, Freddy Krueger? Because I don't think you want to mess with me, you ugly freak," said Eddie. And this was the point where I knew I should run away as fast as I could. But Jack was still on the ground, and I was not about to leave him. Then, out of the blue, the Eddie guy grabbed my hood as I passed by him, yanking it really hard, so I was pulled backwards and fell flat on my back. It was a hard fall, and I hurt my elbow pretty bad on a rock. I couldn't really see what happened afterwards, except that our screams attracted other boys from our school, and that's when all hell broke loose.
6 minutes.
Charlie suffered abuse as a child because of his severe learning difficulties. He was helped, however, by a surgery that made him more intelligent and emotionally stable. In the following excerpt, Charlie is trying to reconcile with the sad realization that the surgery has stopped working and he is regressing. Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Peace. Progress report 17, October 3rd. Downhill. Thoughts of suicide to stop it all now while I'm still in control and aware of the world around me. But then I think of Charlie waiting at the window. His life is not mine to throw away. I've just borrowed it for a while, and now I'm being asked to return it. I must remember, I'm the only person this has ever happened to. As long as I can, I've got to keep putting down my thoughts and feelings. These progress reports are Charlie Gordon's contribution to mankind. I have become edgy and irritable lately. I know I should sleep, but I begrudge every second of waking time. It's not just because of the nightmares. It's because I'm afraid of letting go. October 4th. Strangest therapy session I've ever had. What happened, I don't dare call it a memory, was a psychic experience or hallucination. I won't attempt to explain or interpret it, but I'll only record what happened. I'll tell you something, I'm sick and tired of coming here. What's the sense of therapy anymore? You know as well as I do what's going to happen. I felt myself becoming lightheaded. My mind was a blank. I felt isolated and empty. I feel strange. It's hard to explain. A feeling I've had once or twice before, just before I fainted. A lightheadedness, everything intense. My body feels cold and numb. I have the feeling that Charlie is close by. My eyes are open, I'm sure of it. And yet I see a blue-white glow on the walls and the ceiling, gathering into a shimmering ball. Now it's suspended in mid-air, light forcing itself into my eyes, in my brain. Everything in the room is aglow. I have a feeling of floating, or rather, expanding up and out, and yet Now looking down, I know my body is still here on the couch. Is this a hallucination?
Charlie, are you alright?
I shook my head. I'm alright.
I think maybe that's all for today.
I got up and swayed as I regained my perspective. Not only for today, I don't think I should have any more sessions. I don't want to see you anymore. October 5th. The doctor sent for me again this morning. To see what's happening deep down? What do you expect to find? I must have looked upset because he started to back off. We don't have to. You're here voluntarily. If you don't want to. That's all right. Go ahead. Deal out the cards, but don't tell me what you find out. You didn't have to. It's not valid. I know what you're looking for. I know what kind of response I'm supposed to have to create a certain picture of what my mind is like. All I've got to do is... He looked up at me, waiting. All I've got to do is... But then it hit me, like a fist against the side of my head, and I didn't remember what I had to do. It was as if I'd been looking at the whole thing clearly on the blackboard of my mind, but when I turned to read it, part of it had been erased, and the rest didn't make any sense. At first, I refused to believe it. I went through the cards in a panic, so fast that I was choking on my own words. I wanted to tear the ink blots apart, to make them reveal themselves. Somewhere, in those ink blots, there were answers I had known just a little while ago. Not really in the ink blots, but in the part of my mind that would give form and meaning to them, and project my imprint on them. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't remember what I had to say. All missing. That's a woman, on her knees washing the floor. No, it's a man holding a knife. And even as I said it, I knew what I was saying, and I switched away and started off in another direction. No, it's two faces staring at each other through the window, and I slipped the cards off the table and got up. No more tests. I don't want to take any more tests. All right, Charlie, we'll stop for today. Not just for today. I'm not coming back here anymore. Whatever there is left in me that you need, you can get it from the progress reports. I'm through running the maze. I'm not a guinea pig anymore. I've done enough and I want to be left alone now. All right, Charlie, I understand. No, you don't understand because it isn't happening to you, and no one can understand but me. I don't blame you. You've got your job to do and your PhD to get, and oh yes, don't tell me. I know you're in this so largely out of your love of humanity, but you still got your life to live, and we don't happen to belong on the same level. Don't you think you should talk to... Say goodbye to everyone for me, will you? I don't feel like facing any of them ever again. Before he could say any more or try to stop me, I was out of the lab and I caught the elevator down and out of the evening for the last time. October 7th. The doctor tried to see me again this morning, but I wouldn't open the door. I want to be left to myself now. It's a strange sensation to pick up a book you read and enjoyed just a few months ago and discover you don't remember it. I recall how wonderful I thought Milton was, but when I picked up Paradise Lost, I could only remember it was about Adam and Eve and the Tree of Knowledge, but I couldn't make any sense of it. I stood up and closed my eyes and saw Charlie, myself, 6 or 7 years old, sitting at the dinner table with schoolwork, learning to read, saying the words over and over, with my mother sitting beside me. Try it again! See Jack, run. See Jack, see. No, it's not see Jack, see, it's run Jack, run! Pointing with her rough scrubbed finger. See Jack, run Jack, see. No, you're not trying! Do it again! Do it again, do it again, do it again. Leave the boy alone, you've got him terrified. He's got to learn, he's too lazy to concentrate. Run Jack, run, run Jack, run, run Jack, run, run Jack, run. He's slower than the other children, give him time. He's normal, there's nothing wrong with him, just lazy. I'll beat it into him until he learns. Run Jack, run, run Jack, run, run Jack, run, run Jack. And then, looking up from the table, it seems to me I saw myself through Charlie's eyes, holding Paradise Lost. And I realized I was breaking the binding with the pressure of both hands, as if I wanted to tear the book in half. I broke the back of it, ripped out a handful of pages, and flung them in the book across the room to where the broken records were. I let it lay there. Its torn white tongues were laughing because I couldn't understand what they were saying. I've got to try to hold on to some of the things I've learned. Please, God, don't take it all away.
Okay.
In this dramatic scene, we encounter a family excited to be taking a road trip. Their excitement is soon shattered, however, when they come face to face with an escaped killer called the Misfit. How the grandmother's pleas at mercy influence their fate? A Good Man is Hard to Find by Flannery O'Connor. "We've had an accident!" the children screamed. The grandmother had a peculiar feeling that the bespectacled man was someone she knew. His face was as familiar to her as if she'd known him all her life. She could not recall who he was.
Good afternoon.
He said,
I see y'all had you this bit.
"We didn't know twice," said the grandmother.
Once.
He corrected.
We seen a heck.
"Draw their crime, see who'll run harm," he said quietly to the boy with the gray hat. "What you got that gun for?" John Wesley asked. "What you gonna do with that gun?"
Lady,
The man said to the children's mother.
you not gonna judge and sit down by you? Judge make me nervous.
"Joel, sit right down to get where you're at."
What are you telling us to do for?
John Wesley asked. Behind them, the line of the woods gaped like a dark, open mouth.
Well, look here now.
Bailey began suddenly. "We're in a predicament! We're in—" The grandmother shrieked. She scrambled to her feet and stood staring. "You're the misfit!" she said. "I recognized you at once!"
He isn't.
The man said, smiling as if in spite of himself to be known.
Would have been better for all you, lady. You hadn't recognized me.
Bailey turned his head sharply and said something to his mother that shocked even the children. The old lady began to cry and Mr. reddened. "Listen," Bailey began. "We're in a predicament. Nobody realizes what this is." His voice cracked. His eyes were as blue and intense as a parrot's on his shirt. He stood perfectly still. The grandmother reached up to adjust her hat brim as if she were going to the woods with him. It came off her hand. She stood staring at it, and after a second, let it fall to the ground. Hiram pulled Bailey up by the arm as if he were assisting an old man, and John Wesley caught hold of his father's hand. They went off towards the woods, and just as they reached the dark edge, Bailey turned, and supporting himself against a gray, naked pine trunk, he shouted, "I'll be back in a minute, Mama. Wait on me." "Bailey boy!" the grandmother cried in a tragic voice. When she found, she was looking at the misfit, squatting on the ground in front of her. I just know you're a good man," she said desperately.
No, I ain't a good man.
This said.
I ain't the worst in the world neither.
"You wouldn't shoot a lady, would you?" the grandmother said, and removed a clean handkerchief from her cuff and began to slap her eyes with it.
I would hate to have to.
"Well, listen!" the grandmother almost screamed. "I know you're a good man. You don't look a bit like you've common blood. I know you must come from nice people,"
Yes, ma'am.
he said.
Nice people in the world.
"Listen, you should call yourself the misfit because I know you're a good man at heart. I can just look at you and tell."
Appreciate that, lady.
Mr. said, drew a little circle on the ground with the butt of his gun. "Well, Hiram, get him that little boy's devilry on with you," Mr. said, pointing to Bailey and John Wesley.
I was going to ask you something.
Said to Bailey.
Come on, step back in their woods there with them.
"Do you ever pray?" the grandmother asked.
No,
He said. There was a pistol shot from the woods, followed closely by another. Then silence. The old lady's head jerked around. "Bailey boy!" she screamed. "Pray, pray, pray."
never was a bad boy that I remember of.
Mrs. said in almost a dreamy voice.
Somewhere along the line, done something wrong, got sent to the penitentiary. I was buried alive.
He held her attention in with a steady stare.
If you would pray, Jesus will help you.
That's right.
Well, then why don't you pray? She asked, trembling with delight.
I don't want no help. I'm all right by myself.
Hiram came ambling back from the woods, dragging a yellow shirt with bright blue parrots on it. "Throw me that shirt," Lucid said. The shirt came flying at him and he put it on. Grandmother couldn't name what it reminded her of.
No, lady. $3 crime don't matter. You can do one thing, you can do another. Kill a man or take a tire off his car. Sooner or later, you're gonna forget what it was done. Just get punished for it.
The children's mother began to make heaving noises as if she couldn't catch her breath.
Lady, would you and that little girl have to step off yonder with Hiram and join the husband?
Her left arm dangled hopelessly, and she was holding the baby who had gone to sleep in the other.
That lady of Hiram, hold on to that little girl's hand.
There's a piercing scream from the woods, followed closely by a pistol report.
Does it seem right to you, lady, that one's punished a heap, another ain't punished at all?
You've got good blood! I know you wouldn't shoot a lady! I know you come from nice people! Pray! You ought not to shoot, lady! I'll give you all the money I've got!
Lady, there never was a body. I gave the undertaker a tip.
There were 2 more pistol reports, and the grandmother raised her head and called, "Pay the boy! Pay the boy!" As if her heart would break.
Jesus was the only one that ever raised the dead. And he shouldn't have done it. He'd thrown everything off balance. If he did what he said, there's nothing for you to do but throw away everything and follow him. And if he didn't, there's nothing for you to do but enjoy the few minutes you've got left. The best way you can. By killing somebody, burning his house down, doing some other meanness to him. No pleasure but meanness.
His voice seemed to crack, and the grandmother's head cleared for an instant. She saw the man's face, twisted and close to her own, as if he were going to cry, and she murmured, "Why, you want my babies! You want my own children!" She reached out and touched him on the shoulder, and sprang back as if a snake had bitten him and shot her 3 times through the chest. Then he put his gun down, took off his glasses, and began to clean them. Hiram returned from the woods and stood over the ditch, looking down at the grandmother, who half sat and half lay, puddle of blood, his legs crossed under her like a child's, her face smiling up at the cloudless sky.
She would have been a good woman. There had been somebody there to shoot her every minute of her life.
I'm Kanika Mehali, and I will be reading an excerpt from The Bridge to Televithia by Kathleen Harrison. This is a story of a boy named Jess and a girl named Leslie. Ever since they became friends, Jess feels like he's in a whole new world, but they both can do anything. We need a place, she said, just for us. It would be so secret we would tell anyone in the whole world about it. Jess came swinging back and dragged his feet to a stop. She lowered her voice almost to a whisper. It might even be a whole secret country, she continued. You and I would be the rulers of it. Her words stirred something inside of him. He He would like to be the ruler of something, even something that wasn't real. Okay, he said. Where could we have it? Over there in the woods, where nobody would come and mess it up. There were parts of the woods that just did not like. Dark places, where it was almost like being underwater. But he didn't say so. I know, she was getting excited. It could be a magic country like Narnia, and the only way you could get in is by swinging across this enchanted road. Her eyes were bright. She grabbed her. Come on, she said. Let's find a place to build our castle stronghold. They had only gone a few yards into the woods beyond the creek bend when Leslie stopped. How about right here? She asked. Sure, just agreed quickly, relieved that there was no need to plunge deeper into the woods. As a regular thing and as a permanent place, this was where he would choose to be. Sure, he repeated himself, nodding vigorously. The underbrush was dry and the ground was almost level. It would be easy to clear away. This would be a good place to build. Leslie named their secret land Terabithia, and she'd known just all of her books about Narnia, so he would know how things went in a magic kingdom. He didn't know, but at least he could make Terabithia come alive, or build a castle stronghold. You should draw a picture of Terabithia for us to hang in the castle, Leslie said. I can't. How could he explain it in a way that Leslie would understand? How he yearned to capture the quivering life of him. How when he tried, it slipped past his fingertips, leaving a dry fossil upon the page. I just can't get poetry out of trees, he said. She nodded. Don't worry, she said. You will someday. Because there, in the shadowy light of the stronghold, everything seemed possible. The sun shined on that Christmas Eve afternoon. In a few hours, it would rest, and Santa would come, or so Mabel hoped. Jess laughed as those thoughts ran through his mind. Sweet little sister she is. Mabel thought, Leslie in his mind. And he thought, what can I get her this Christmas Eve? God answered that question very quickly. Jess told Leslie to meet him at the castle stronghold on Christmas Eve afternoon. The dog was a little brown and black thing with great brown eyes. It was a clever, light little thing, a present Jess could be proud of. There was no mistaking the delight in Leslie's eyes. She dropped her knees on the cold ground and picked the puppy up, and then it close to her face. Watch it, Jess cautioned. Its face worse than a water pistol. Leslie moved a little out of the way. Is it male or female? Once in a rare while, there was something he could teach Leslie. Boy, he said happily. Then we will name him Prince Darren and make him the guardian of Terabithia. She put the puppy down and got to her feet. Where are you going? To the Grove of the Pines, she answered. This is a time of greatest joy. Later that afternoon, Leslie gave Jess his present. It was a box of watercolors with 24 tubes of color, 3 brushes, and a bag of heavy art paper. Lord, he said, thank you. He tried to think of a better way to say it, but he couldn't. Thank you, he repeated. A few months later, it had been the perfect day. The rain had brought its joy to him for once, just felt alive and brave. He was willing to pay the price for such a good day, even if his mother yelled at him. He sighed a content sigh and felt his heart rate going up again. Leslie was going to be so surprised. He just couldn't wait to tell her all about it. He was about to run to Terabithia when he decided to go home and tell his mother that he was safe. Better face reason faster. He was all the way into the kitchen before he realized that something was wrong. His dad's pickup had been outside the door, but he hadn't taken it in until he came into the room and found all of his family sitting there. His parents and Mabel on the kitchen table, and Brenda's elder sibling on the couch. He stood unmoving for a second while they stared at him. Suddenly, his mother let out a great shuddering sob. Oh my God! Oh my God! She said it over and over, her head down in her arms. His father moved to put his arm around her awkwardly, but he didn't take his eyes off Jess. I told you just gone off somewhere, Mabel said quietly and stubbornly, as though she repeated it often and no one believed her. He didn't even know what question to ask them. What? He tried to begin, but Brenda's spouting voice broke in. Your girlfriend's dead. Mama thought you were dead too. No! Something boarded on the inside of Jess's head. He opened his mouth, but it was dry, and no words came out. He jerked his head from one face to the next, looking for someone to help him. Finally, his father spoke. his big rough hand stroking his wife's hair, his eyes downcast, watching the ocean. We found the bird girl this morning down the creek. No, Jess says, finding his voice. Leslie won't drown. She can swim real good. The rope took his when swinging on broke. His father went quietly and relentlessly on. They think she must have hit her head or something when she fell. No! He shook his head. No! His father looked up at him. We're sorry, boy. No! Jess was yelling now. I don't believe you! You're lying to me! He looked again wildly for someone to agree. But they all had their heads down, except Mabel, whose eyes were wide with terror. No, he said at Mabel, straight at Mabel. It's a lie. Leslie ain't dead. He turned around and ran out the door, letting the screen bang sharply against the house. He ran down to the graveyard to the main road and then started running west. An approaching car beeped and swerved and beeped again, but he hardly noticed. Leslie, dead, broke, fell. The words exploded in his head like corn against the sides of a bubble. God, dead, you, Leslie, dead. He ran until he was stumbling, but he kept on, afraid to stop, knowing somehow that running was the only thing that could keep Leslie from being dead. It was up to him. He had to keep going.
The year is sometime in the far future, and the children of the planet Venus are excited to finally see the sun after 7 years of constant rain. One of these excited children is Margot, who came from Earth and remembers the magic of sunshine. Will jealousy stop Margot from experiencing sunlight again? All Summer in a Day, by Ray Brown. Ready? Ready. Now? Soon. Do the scientists really know? Will it happen today? Will it? Look, see for yourself. The children pressed to each other, like so many roses, so many weeds, intermixed, peering out for a look at the hidden sun. It rained. It had been raining for 7 years, thousands upon thousands of days compounded and filled from one end to the other with rain. With the drumming gush of water, with the sweet crystal falls of showers, and the concussion of storms so heavy they were tidal waves come over the islands. And this was the way life was forever on the planet Venus. And this was the schoolroom of the children of the rocket men and women who had come to a raining world to set up civilization and live out their lives. It's stopping! Yes! Margot stood apart from them, from these children who could never remember a time when there was rain and rain and rain. They were all 9 years old, and if there had been a day 7 years ago when the sun came out for an hour and showed its face to the stunned world, they could not recall. All day yesterday, they had read in class about the sun and how like a lemon it was, and how hot. And they had written short stories or essays or poems about it. I think the sun is a flower that blooms for just 1 hour. That was Margot's poem, read in a quiet voice in the classroom while the rain was falling outside. "Oh, you didn't write that," protested one of the boys. "I did," said Margot. "I did." But that was yesterday. Now the rain was slackening, and the children were crushed in the great thick windows. Margot stood alone. She was a very frail girl who looked as if she had been lost in the rain for years, and the rain had washed out the blue from her eyes and the red from her mouth and the yellow from her hair. Now she stood separate, staring at the rain and the loud wet world beyond the huge glass. "What are you looking at?" said William. Margot said nothing. "Speak when you're spoken to." He gave her a shove, but she did not move. And this was because she would play no games with them in the echoing tunnels of the underground city. And then, of course, the biggest crime of all was that she had come here only 5 years ago from Earth, and she remembered the sun and the way the sun was and the sky was when she was 4 in Ohio. And they had been on Venus all their lives, and they had been only 2 years old when last the sun came out, and had long since forgotten the color and heat of it and the way it really was. But Margot remembered. "It's like a penny," she said once, eyes closed. "No, it's not," the children cried. "It's like a fire," she said, "in the stove." "You're lying! You don't remember!" cried the children. But she remembered, and stood quietly apart from all of them and watched the patterning windows. And so the children hated her for all these reasons of big and little consequence. "Get away!" The boy gave her another push. "What are you waiting for?" Then, for the first time, she turned and looked at him, and what she was waiting for was in her eyes. "Well, don't wait around here," cried the boy savagely. "You won't see nothing. Nothing!" he cried. "It was all a joke, wasn't it?" He turned to the other children. "Nothing's happening today, is it?" They all blinked at him, and then, understanding, laughed and shook their heads. "Nothing, nothing. But this day, this is the day the scientists predict. They say they know the sun. All a joke," said the boy, and seized her roughly. "Hey, everyone, let's put her in a closet before the teacher comes." "No," said Margot, falling back. They surged about her, caught her up and bore her, protesting, and then pleading, and then crying, back into a tunnel, a room, a closet, where they slammed and locked the door. They stood looking at the door and saw it tremble from her beating and throwing herself against it. They heard her muffled cries. Then, smiling, they turned and went out back down the tunnel just as the teacher arrived. "Ready, children?" She glanced at her watch. "Yes," said everyone. "Are we all here?" "Yes." The rain slacked still more. They crowded to the huge door. The rain stopped. The door slid back, and the smell of the silent, waiting world came into them. The sun came out. It was the color of flaming bronze, and it was very large, and the sky around it was a blazing blue tau color. The children rushed out, yelling into the springtime. They were running and turning their faces to the sky and feeling the sun on their cheeks like a warm iron. They were taking off their jackets and letting the sun burn their arms. "Oh, it's better than sun lamps, isn't it? Much, much better." They ran among the trees, they slipped and fell, they pushed each other. They played hide and seek and tag, but most of all, they squinted at the sun until the tears ran down their faces. They looked at everything and savored everything. In the midst of their running, one of the girls wailed. Everyone stopped. The girl, standing in the open, held out her open hand. "Oh, look, look," she said, trembling. They came slowly to look at her open palm. In the center of it, cupped and huge, was a single raindrop. She began to cry looking at it. They glanced quietly at the sun. "Oh, oh." A few cold drops fell on their noses and their cheeks and their mouths. They stood in the doorway of the underground for a moment until it was raining hard. Then they closed the door and heard the gigantic sound of the rain falling in tons and avalanches everywhere and forever. Then one of them gave a little cry. Margot! What? She's still in the closet where you locked her. Margot! They stood as if someone had driven them like so many stakes into the floor. They looked at each other and then looked away. Margot! They walked slowly down the hall to the sound of cold rain. They walked over to the closet door slowly and stood by it. Behind the closet door was only silence. They unlocked the door even more slowly and let Margot out.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Miss.
Oh,
Okay, she.
thank you. Yeah.
What do you guys do?
Who's the 24/7?
Exactly. They planned this very well. Oh, now we get to your I'm going to be so sad, silent, my
where is it? Because